Welcome again, Scorpio. Would you believe it's 2015 again? I'm Dadhichi with your monthly horoscope forecast. I do want to talk a little bit about the general overview for the year because it is a new year. Happy New Year. The transit of Jupiter into your 10th house over the last few months has been very, very important to you. It's generally boosted your professional standing to quite a level. This will continue well into the year, in fact up till the 11th of August when it exits your career sector and moves into the profits and fulfillment sector of your horoscope. That's the 11th house of your horoscope. So at last you'll start to see the fruits of your work, and this is a combination of 11 or 12 years of hard work, because we see that the transit is a 12-year cycle. So what was probably begun 12 years ago is completing, and now a new cycle is underway. On top of that, we've got an interesting transit of Saturn, which is moving into Sagittarius. The transit's back into your sun sign, and that's been a difficult transit for you. It's shown a lot more responsibility, a lot of adjustment over the last 2.5 years to your life and some of the decisions that you've made. On the 18th of September, it moves back into Sagittarius, and that means that the full focus of your attention will be on your finances over the next year or two. That's a general view. I mean, there are other transits there. If you want, you can have a look at the site and see exactly what is in store for you there in more detail. But let's have a look at this month in focus with what we see, for example, in terms of the Mars and Jupiter opposition on the 2nd of January. That's just passed, but we've probably still got some of that energy from the expansive nature of this opposition contact from your 4th sector to your 10th sector. So this has a lot to do with your family experiences. Mars is one of your ruling planets moving through the 4th house. That can activate your interest in construction, doing more work around the home, and generally spending more time at home and giving more energy to your family. On the well, we're on the 4th now because I'm a little bit late with this, but we do see there's been also another important conjunction just today, and that's a very nice one. That's the 7th ruler of your horoscope and the 12th ruler of your horoscope, Venus, moving into the 4th house as well. If there's been a bit of aggression there, a little bit of intensity associated with the relationships that you have, Venus will smooth that over and make you feel a lot more comfortable during this period. I've said on many occasions that this 4th house is not only to do with the physical locality of your home, but I repeat, home is where the heart is, and this part of your nature is going to be strongly activated as well by the position of Venus in this area. So inner peace, finding that center within yourself that can create a lot more equilibrium in your relationships is there. We do see that there's an opposition to Jupiter occurring, and that will take place over the next few weeks. That can be a little bit excessive. You might find that your expenses in the home area are spiraling out of control somewhat. But we do see a nice transit of Venus into the 5th house of love affairs and creativity around the 28th of January. Now, I'm a Scorpio like you guys watching this, and I must say I've been a little bit lazy. Maybe we could put that down to the Christmas festivity. But as soon as Venus moves into this 5th house, you'll probably want to socialize a lot more, because that aspect of Venus on your 11th house of friends and social activities is normally quite a strong one and brings with it good opportunity. Also because of the fact that it's transiting its, pardon me, its exaltation sign of Pisces. So that really gives it a lot of oomph and a lot more drive for that socializing that might have been absent in some of you during this particular cycle. Mercury also moving into the 4th house onto the 5th. Mars into the 5th house on the 12th. So perhaps those energies in terms of romance, creativity, the impact on children and your relationship with children will start a little bit earlier than the later Venus transit on the 12th of January from what I can see here. Do be careful there, because we have a Mars square Saturn aspect taking place on the 15th. That's occurring in your 5th house of speculation, 2nd house of money. There can be some frustrations there in the way you're dealing with people financially. That's also been the case in the last few months. If you've been working on projects that can't seem to get going, that could be creating quite a bit of angst, quite a bit of challenge with some of the people that you're doing business with. So you need to monitor those areas and really come up with a good game plan for how you're going to complete these particular projects that you've had on the boil. Maybe you've taken it a little bit. That's my daughter calling out there. Hang on a sec, sweetheart. I'm talking to all the Scorpios here. Mercury goes retrograde on the 22nd of January. Again, that is in your 4th sector. So you need to be careful about making decisions associated with construction, work around the home, people that work for you in the home area. In fact, any decision you have to make with relatives too could be under the sort of retrograde motion of this planet. Therefore, the usual advice, and especially for you, Scorpio, because Mercury is not a particularly friendly planet, the retrogression of natural malefics such as this, temporal malefics such as this, does create some problem there. And of course, it has to do with your communication, has to do with your contracts and any sort of agreements. And that you should wait until the later period in February when it goes direct. So a couple of other aspects to finish them up. The Venus square Saturn on the 30th of January is not particularly great for your relationships. And that's because Venus is your 7th ruler, the ruler of your marital sector. Affection could be a little cooler at that time, but fortunately these transits are quick moving, so you shouldn't expect too much of a problem associated with that for too long. The transit of the moon in the 8th house shows you thinking very deeply this month. It's in the natural sign of Scorpio, though it's in the sign of Gemini. Shows that you're really deeply concerned about your spirituality again now. Maybe you've forgotten to continue your discipline, your inner work. Now's the time to do that. And we see that the transit of Jupiter to your 11th house later in the year is going to fulfill some of your desires, not just materially, but also on a spiritual, emotional and mental level too. I do look forward to your company again next month. Do take the time to visit me at astrology.com.au. We have a more detailed synopsis of the month in focus. And also the original video that I did, which was more of a thematic sort of view of what's happening throughout the month, can be found there as a text-based report. I've given you a little bit of a more detailed analysis of the month with some of these transits, but probably because I'm a little bit biased being a Scorpio. Take care, and I'll see you next month. Bye for now.